everyone, it's Jessica Libor back with my studio vlog, and today is the 15th of February, day after Valentine's Day, and I wanted to share with you today a little bit about my very favorite color to paint with. So this is Michael Harding's Pale Violet, and over the last few years, pretty much every painting that I make has Michael Harding's Pale Violet in it. And I feel like this is like my signature color. Truly, it is the best paint I have ever used, except for maybe Old Holland. Old Holland makes a range of light blues that are like really stunning. But I feel like this color just like describes my soul. Like it is truly my favorite color to paint with. I mix it with all kinds of things so that it really kind of tints the overall feel of my paintings. So I use it to really help the paintings have a consistent look, like a feel and a world that you can step into. And you know, purple, I really love the purple because it also just, it's always resonated with me as like the most beautiful color of the rainbow. Something in me is really just very gravitated towards purple. Specifically like a cool purple. So I have on a little purple sweater right now. And yeah, so the meanings of purple have ranged throughout the centuries and from culture to culture, but a lot of different cultures have seen purple and lavender and different shades of purple is the color of royalty. And that is because it was so expensive to make a purple pigment that only people who were very wealthy or royalty could really afford garments made with purple dye in them. And also the paintings that held purple were also very expensive to make. So only the most wealthy patrons could afford these things, these paintings. So, and interestingly, purple dye was invented by the Phoenicians. So that was like the first recorded date for like people using the purple color as like a dye, as a pigment. And they would actually use snails, like different parts of snails, this specific gland within a specific kind of snail, and then they would extract this gland and place it and combine it with a couple of different other things and boil it, and then it would create this really light, fast, and really permanent dye. And unfortunately, a lot of snails had to die for this color, but it was so expensive to produce that, again, only the most wealthy people could afford it. Now, that's not how they make Michael Harding's Pale Violet. They use organic and inorganic ingredients, and I have really looked into like what is inside, how they make this. I know it's not snails, but I'm not 100% sure. So if anybody has any idea, you can reach out to me. But yeah, so this is my favorite. Yeah. The other thing about purple is that in addition to being associated with people who are very wealthy and royalty, it's also associated with spirituality. So it has this really creative feel, this really spiritual feel. And that's because, I believe it's because it is kind of a meeting of both worlds. So, you know, if you've studied anything about color theory, like the color wheel, so it's a combination of red and blue. And so red is like this fiery, very vibrant color, and then blue is this very icy, cool tone, and then you bring them both together, and it's this blend of both sides of polarity. And so it's kind of like this whole color that describes, it contains multitudes, it contains everything. And to me, that's what's so special about purple. And there's something about it that just really resonates with me. So yeah, that is why I really love purple and all different shades of it. But I feel like this shade in particular is just like the perfect shade for what I try to do with my art, because it's not too light in that you don't get that like intensive purple, but it's also not too dark that it like darkens the painting. So it's like that perfect middle shade of violet that I just absolutely love. So I can lighten it, I can darken it, I can add a little bit more blue if I want it a little bit cooler, a little bit more red or pink if I want it brighter, or more warm toned. So for all these reasons, I really love this color. So for my upcoming show in May, She in the Tower, I am doing I'm doing all these different paintings, and they all have significant amounts of this pale violet in them, because I really want to make this this series of paintings very just very cohesive. So I'm doing the underpaintings all with this pale violet, and I'm really excited. I just want to share with you a little bit about this, a little bit about the process, and I'm going to share with you also one painting that has the underpainting right now. So I'm going to go grab that just so you can see it. So this is a painting that's just the underpainting right now. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the cool sections, this pale violet, and then some of the warmer sections are this really pale pink. And I like to do this because it creates a contrast in the cool and the warm. So yeah, so it kind of like creates this light and dark, but also this cool and this warm. And from here, then I put different layers of oil paint on top of it to create more depth within the painting. But the underpainting, it really sets the tone for the rest of the painting. So yeah, this is what I've chosen to use for this next series of paintings for She in the Tower. And yeah, I hope that you really enjoy learning more about it. So yeah, that is my vlog entry for today, February 15th. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.